Hey, how's it going? So, don't really have an unboxing today. Just more or less going to be talking about how February is going, which, as of right now, is going so much better than January. So it's been about a month since I've made one of these just talky videos, and in January I talked about like my fingerboard goals for this year, which by the way, I'm already doing very well on those. So I guess I'll touch base on that and then kind of what I have planned for the rest of February, even though the month is pretty much over, but I still got a week to do kind of whatever really. As of right now, I'm still getting caught up on a ton of unboxings that I wasn't able to do in January. So I'm slowly but surely getting those out. Just for a time frame, I recently recorded this one right here, and then I'm doing that one. And then up next is Taupe. She recently had her RealWear graphic drop, which is really cool. And speaking of Taupe, she had a few really cool, like a limited number of decks. I know one of them, she incorporated one of her paintings on like the bottom, I think it's like the bottom third of the deck, which I think is really cool. If you weren't able to make any of the ones that Abducted has, I do know that she has a set of decks heading towards 6 gates. I'm not 100% sure when the date of that is, when it's going to be on his website. Other than that, more in fingerboarding news. So I do have something really big coming in, and I'm super excited. It should be here later this week. I want to say UPS said it was going to be here Thursday. It took a while for it to get built and then of course sent over. So I'm really excited about that. I won't keep you waiting because I'm not sure when that unboxing is going to come out, because I got to figure out a way to be able to show everything. So it's going to be a fingerboard park coming from Warehouse Ramps. And if you've been following Warehouse Ramps, you do know, unfortunately, he is done with Warehouse Ramps. He's going to be focusing more on family. Wish him the best, and as always, family should come first. But yes, so yeah, sad news with that, but good news is I got a fingerboard park. Sounds super selfish now that I'm saying it out loud, but I'm super hyped about it. As he was on his way out, he threw up like a whole bunch of like one-of-one stuff that he had built over, I guess I think it was the last 2 years. I'm not sure exactly how long he's been around. I recently just found out about him, so it's upsetting that I just found out about him and now I got the park, super happy, and then unfortunately it was towards the end of his ramp building venture. So yeah, there was a post about it and he said unfortunately he is done. So I am grateful that he did finish that park. He did tell me it was the last one that he was making, and he said he was like already towards the end of finishing the park when he had made that decision. And he told me, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and finish it, since I think it was like 80-90% done, something like that. So super happy about that. So we'll go ahead and switch subjects real quick and go to what I had talked about in January about the goals that I had and my progress on them. So my first goal, I don't remember the exact order, but I remember one goal was the fingerboarders in San Antonio. The numbers are going up. I did find a few more people that fingerboard here in San Antonio, and I've invited all of them to that park session that we do pretty much every Sunday. And so far, one person has consistently shown up, and he's gonna be is it Stock? He's like the new guy. He mainly wears the hat. He's been in pretty much the last few sessions videos that I've been posting on Instagram. And then there's a few other ones, but it just like every Sunday they keep getting busy, which I understand. Life happens, you got work to do, family stuff, whatever. Got to take care of that. So eventually they'll make it to us, and that'll be really cool. So I think as of now we're at like 10 people from, I think it was like 6 earlier. So that's really cool. So there's more, and I know that there's more fingerboarders here in San Antonio. It's just a matter of meeting up at one point when like everyone's off, everyone's free, and has time to come out. And then the next one was about the fingerboard events, which I went to my first one, so I'm already doing way better than I did the previous year. And I'm planning on going to the USA FBL in Dallas on, what is it, July 15th? July 15th. Even before that, I do have plans to make it to Rendezvous, but I'm still on the fence of actually going, because one of the things I'm worried about is getting the plane ticket, getting the hotel, getting there, and then because of the way that the weather changes, my knees and my ankles are swollen, and I'm stuck in the hotel. So I'm really nervous about that and don't want that to happen. So I'm still kind of just weighing the risk of that, because that'd be really, really unfortunate if that happens. So I'm not saying I'm going. Bottom line, I do got to make a decision at least by the end of next month, whether I'm going for sure or not. But something that I have been noticing, at least when I'm scrolling through Instagram or the Facebook group that I'm in, I've been seeing a lot more fingerboard events, which I think is really, really cool. And another thing that I'm starting to see is more like parks at the park Sunday sessions. I think it's really cool. I say that every Sunday should be like fingerboarders meet up at a random park, bring a few obstacles, bring your fingerboards, bring some extra fingerboards. There's always little kids they'll, at least for us, they'll come to our table and, you know, the kids are just watching us, but the parents, and it's mainly the dads, they'll come, oh, that's so cool. I remember I used to play with those when I was little. And the parents are way more into it than the kids are. And it's like really, really obvious. I think it's hilarious, but I think it's really cool. So it's always really good to bring an extra fingerboard, and it doesn't have to be like, you know, like your top of the line setup. Just bring like either a tech deck or like an Amazon setup, something that you won't mind getting used a bit harder than what you're using, because it is a little kid and they don't know what they're doing. But yeah, that's something that I usually do. And you know, when we go to the park, we usually have quite a few setups between us, and if a kid is interested, we'll let them mess around with it, see how they feel about it, because you know, that's how you bring new blood into the fingerboard scene. You gotta introduce them to it. And another thing dealing with fingerboards are gonna be some obstacles. So something new that happened, Level Edges just had a drop not too long ago. It was 5 new obstacles. 3 of them sold out almost immediately. I finally got my hands on a sledge ledge. I've been looking at that for a very, very long time. So long that I completely forgot about Level Edges, and then recently remembered about Level Edges when they showed this, the Wombo Combo King. It was called the Combo King, and it's like 2 banks and then some benches on either side. I think that one looked really cool. So that one, it had me sold immediately. And then I looked at the other obstacles that were part of the drop, and I really liked that university bench, or whatever it was called, the bench, city bench, something like that, and then the A-frame. I thought those 3 obstacles looked really, really cool. So I did manage to get all 3 that I did want. And if you didn't know about the drop, it's too late. They're all gone. And those ones, they did sell out very, very quick. Another company that I've had my eye on for a little while now is going to be Finger Everything Ramps. So they have this really cool double bench and this wedge. It's like kind of like an A-frame, but it's just 2 kickers, and it has a little round rail in the middle of it. I thought that looked really cool. And of course they do have your picnic tables, quarter pipes, kickers, half pipes, you know, the whole variety of stuff. He did make a park at Return to the Fingerboard Jam, and that park looked really, really cool. That event, actually, it all looked really cool. I've been watching different clips and different videos on YouTube highlighting that event, and that looked really cool. Oh yeah, and before I forget, the final goal was about the nollie heels. I have been practicing and I have gotten better. Usually. Well, they're very inconsistent, but a lot more consistent than they used to be. That one took me about 40 something attempts before I sort of got that one. So yeah, progress. So I am making progress on those fingerboard goals that I have. And I know I did say I did want to start that other project about actually building a park, and I was planning on starting that in January, but that kind of got completely messed up, and now I'm super behind schedule, but I'm slowly but surely getting myself back on track. So once I get everything in my personal life straightened out, and then I can start focusing more on the fingerboarding part of it, which I'm really looking forward to. But the warehouse ramps park will be a very, very awesome addition to the fingerboard collection, and it's super, super exciting that I was able to get a park made before he left the scene. Another question that I do get asked a lot are the decks that I prefer to use, which everyone knows I do mainly use the Beast Pants, but I also do use Famous, and then in this video I was using the double joint deck. And if you want even more specific, the Rabbit from Beast Pants, Epic from Famous, and the Black Sheep from double joint. So those are like the top 3 decks that I use. But yeah, that's pretty much it for February. In March, I actually don't have anything planned, so I'll probably be working on something in March too. But yeah, that's it. You're all caught up with me in February. I'll have my Instagram down in the description below. You can stay up to date with what I have going on. You'll be able to see when I'm on live, and I usually do talk a bit more about like the day-to-day thing or like the week by week instead of doing it once a month here on YouTube. So if that's something that interests you, give me a follow on Instagram. I'll have my Instagram. I'll have my Instagram down in the description below. Yeah, and you can come hang out when I go on live. Usually it's on Fridays around 8 p.m. CST, sometimes a little bit later, sometimes a little bit earlier, but usually around there. Sometimes on Saturdays. I actually went live on Sunday because it was a holiday on Monday, and I had a little bit of extra time, so that was really fun. Anyways, that'll do it for now. Take it easy. Have a good one.